Recording in progress.
What's going on, coaches? I want to thank you for being here with me today. And I want to take moments just to honor that you are taking the time to step up and make the next move on what it is that you want to create in your personal life that reflects in your business. So thanks for joining me again here today. So let's get started to that juicy parts. So I want to introduce you to Mastering Your Divinity. This actual program and this free masterclass, it is supported by every aspect. And these are like the main things that I focus on when it comes to my clients. I focus on creating the purpose through your passion with clarity. It's about the soul's journey. It's about really tapping into your personality, your emotional awareness, the happiness. Where are you at with that? Where your body is, your fitness. What about the psychological mind, the mind, where that is, your relationship with yourself and others. And if you are a parent, where you're at, where are you with that? And your life purpose and your finances, which is really big, and the abundance that you share, because that's all connected. See, a lot of people don't really understand that. And the process to mastering your divinity with the Merkaba shift is so important because so many just don't understand or understand and overstand this process. And it's about creating your purpose, right? About your inner and outer reality. Learning how to master that and being passionate about that and being connected to your inner guide's communication so you can make that happen, right? And it's about creating mindful solutions with that. Because if you don't, then you're waiting for life to happen to you instead of for you and with the power of creation. And a lot of people don't understand that. When you do get it, then you can understand that level that can help you get to that place where you can start building your business to create the changes, and you can start developing your gifts, which is the foundation of how to develop a high ticket value program. And you can do that with these next steps that I'm going to talk to you about here today. So before we get into that, I want to talk to you about who this is for, guys. And this is for, well, let's talk about that because this is really important. This is for those spiritual entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, advisors, anybody spiritual who is looking to create a spiritually based business and don't have the clarity and are seeking the clarity so they can create their offer, actually a high ticket offer that will help them get to that next stage so they can have, without a doubt, consistent 5 to 6 figure months to support the journey, to be able to reinvest into your business and fully support you personally in your finances. So you can have that balance spiritually and emotionally and mentally and financially, definitely. So the other thing that's really important that is that you have to be really clear and know that you are an expert at what you do, because this is going to be the foundation of how to build your gifts. And you can start making those breakthroughs through understanding that that is so important when it comes to building your business so you can attract your ideal client, which develops mind, body, spirit, in your finances and your business development. So that's who this is for. So I want to talk about a little bit about get into about who this is for. So, and what we're going to get into in the next 45 minutes. Okay, guys? So let's talk about that now. What you're going to learn in the next 45 minutes is you're going to learn how to turn your purpose to your passion and learn how to build with clarity, even if it seems really impossible right now, because I know a lot of people, when beginning the process of growing their business, they really don't know where to begin. And that is really important because we can get to a place in our lives and in our business where we know pieces. I always say square peg round hole, because we learn a bunch of different things from a bunch of different coaches, right? Wanting to learn the ins and outs of the business, which is great because those are the fundamental dynamics of building this business, right? But what happens is you piece everything together and you expect those pieces to fit into the same puzzle, and they don't. Everybody's different. Things are done differently. So what happens is it can be very unease momentum, and then you can become stagnant. And that is not a great place to be when you're looking to build. So I totally get that. But what else you're going to learn, right? So you can shift through that is how you deserve to create from your gifts, and how to put together an actual program from your gifts, and how to actually have that created and then offer that to your clients so you can be in love what it is that you do and what you've been struggling to create to some degree up until this point, right? Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be here with me in this webinar and in this free masterclass. So let's talk a little bit about more what we're going to get into the next 45 minutes. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to learn how to build from clarity. You're going to learn how to charge, and you're going to learn how to manifest the amazing clients that you want to work with, because they deserve you and you deserve them, because that's what this is all about, guys. So I'm going to tell you, I know we all get stuck there. Oh my gosh, I believe. And I know in the beginning, I got stuck creating so much content in the beginning because I was like, I got to make this happen. It's got to work this way. And I wasn't clear on who I was serving. I didn't know how to talk to them. I didn't know how to build my audience. I didn't know how to create any kind of momentum that would get me steady clients. And I know you guys have been there. So understanding the process, that you don't have to have all this stuff. You don't have to have, a podcast. You don't have to write a book. You don't have to have all these different strategies. People tell you, you got to do this, you got to go live, you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to go on Instagram, you got to go to TikTok, you got to go on Facebook. It's not necessary, especially in the beginning. But my suggestion is that you pick one solid one that you have a really good relationship, that specific platform, and you rock and roll with that. So that's the way to master the process, right? And a lot of people get caught up in that. So let's not do that, guys. So let me tell you about the next thing is you're going to learn how to position yourself with clarity and the knowledge that you need, so you can then go from offering your services for a low amount to an actual putting together a program and offering sessions for so many weeks, because a lot of coaches in the beginning are very unclear on how to do that, and you guys get stuck. And it is not an energy that you want to be stuck in, because it creates more of that, right? You really can't create with clarity, and then it's hard to even think about marketing and strategies and all that stuff when it comes to creating your business. So I'm going to tell you this. I promise you that in these next 45 minutes, I'm going to give you strategies and tools to build a high ticket offer, with high ticket value, and how to begin that with 8 steps. Okay. And start climbing that mountain of success, because it is a mountain. We are always consistently doing that. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you about a few rules. All right. So here they are. You don't have to do anything, okay, and say, no, I don't feel like doing anything, and then expect to get something out of it. There is work behind this. There's a lot of work behind this. You have to put in the work. You have to show up. And that is something that no one can hold your hands in. You can get the assistance to someone to hold your hands while you're learning how to build an online coaching business, but no one can make you show up. That's all on you guys. And that it's really, really important that you're willing to put in the work and show up. So to get into the next. So let me ask you, do you have some months where the money is coming into your business and then other months it's not. And then you're wondering what the heck's going to happen. And you've been charging maybe, $50, $75, $100 plus. And then you see your clients for a couple of times, maybe 3 times, and then they disappear. That's because it's really hard to make shifts in just a few sessions. I've been there and I did that for a long time until I got into that space and I created my high ticket program and I got the coaching that I needed, and it helped guide me to create where I'm at now, and I'm consistently growing. It doesn't stop, guys. And that's what you need to know. So what happens is if you don't have clarity on that, it creates a lot of stress and anxiety in your life. And then that creates a whole different dynamic and a bunch of new issues and a bunch of new problems, a bunch of new things to be worrying about, problems at home, bills, relationships, all that stuff, because it affects all of that. So do you start every single month wondering like, what the heck's next? What are you going to do? How are you going to get clients? Where your money's going to come from? Is this business going to work? That happens to a lot of people. And I want you to know that there is a solution to that, guys. There are many solutions, and we're going to go over that today. So I want to ask, does that sound like you? Well, I'm going to ask again, are you secretly, knowing that you deserve more? You just haven't really figured out how, and then it creates worthy issues. I've been there. Because then what happens is that triggers a bunch of fear. And then now you're scared. And then you're like, well, how am I supposed to charge a high ticket offer and raise my prices so I can pay my bills and afford, to have a business and do what I need to do? But I don't even know where to start. Or again, you're taking pieces, square peg, round hole. And that is such a crazy place to be, because I've been there and I know it's very, very stressful. So if this sounds like you, I want you guys to know that it's going to be okay. I promise it's going to be okay. It's clarity, knowing how it shifts the dynamic to everything. And you guys really need to know that. So if you secretly know that, your services are worth a lot more and you just don't know how to package that up to charge for it, then it's all about just getting the clarity. And structuring your business is a process. There is a lot of dynamics behind that. And I know that it can be overwhelming. And then you just sometimes decide you're like, okay, I'm just going to stay where I'm at and I'll just whatever clients I get. Or sometimes you even been in a space where you're like not even charging people because in your head, you're like, I want to get better and I got to learn more. There is a rite of passage, but that's not going to build a business at the end of the day, guys. And in the long run, it is about making a profit, bringing amazing value to your clients because they want to work with you because of you and the gifts that you bring that are bringing the solutions to their problems, right? So I know that can leave you frustrated, that can leave you confused. You don't know what to charge. You're like, this is supposed to be a spiritually based business. It's not supposed to be that hard. I just don't know how. Again, like I want to emphasize on that because so many people get stuck in and they don't understand that there is a way to move through that and shift through that. And it's just about knowing how to build it, guys. That's the bottom line foundation dynamics to it. So let me tell you a little bit more about that. We almost skipped back, or we almost skipped forward. Let's talk about this before we go there. So if this does sound like you, I want you guys, to really think about like, and is this like keeping you up at night? You're like secretly like, oh my God, well, what am I really worth? How do I charge people? Am I undercharging, overcharging? What am I doing? And it could be frustrating, and I know can, again, trigger a lot of fear. And it's important that you guys don't get stuck there. And if you're wondering how to structure a business because you have like this, again, I have found a lot of spiritually based businesses have a stigma like it's supposed to be free. Well, there is a rite of passage. You can, while you're building and you're getting to know yourself, how you are in your business, what you do, but it's not supposed to be forever, guys. And it's definitely not supposed to be cheap when you're bringing so much amazing value. And what that means is helping people with their problems, right? And shifting them from where they are and where they want to be. And that changes their whole life. Like, how do you even put a price behind that? And I know I've been there. It's a strange place to be, at least in the beginning, until you start getting it, that there is there is the other side of it, right? So if this is keeping you in a space where you're confused, frustrated, you don't know how to piece things together again, and you don't know how to create, these set systems that'll help you build an awesome business, well, then again, there are total solutions to that. It's just about figuring out how you're going to do it. So if that sounds like you guys, and you see other people building their businesses and you want to do the same thing, you're getting frustrated, because I know as online coaches, we really go on and we study out, what's going on out there. And then we see all these other coaches doing their thing. And we're like, okay, how does this work? Why haven't I done this? Like, I don't even know. Even learning how to put together a webinar like that takes time. It's a process. There's an art. And it's about getting the foundation of it, of the business in a grounded place. So you can start walk up the mountain, right? But you can take quantum leaps, but there's steps in between. So it's important to know. So there's, and the things that I say about needing to know is that you got to learn the strategies. You got to learn conscious marketing and advertising. You got to learn how to work the technology behind everything. And, that's just a piece of it. All the different systems that supported the infrastructure of your business, all of that can become really overwhelming. I know. And that left me stuck for years. Honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you, I was there for a long time. And because I felt like technology was like, yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to do this. I was okay at technology, but throughout the years, a lot of the stuff that I've done, it was really technology based. So like I had no choice. And if you want an online business, you got to learn this world, guys. It's just a part of it. You can't, and you got to, and you do that by shifting your mindset, your mentality behind what you're creating. Because if you don't, technology will be the enemy, and you're never going to create a business, especially like this one. And you can never expect it to be successful. You know what I'm saying? And it's about just being in that space of knowing that shifts everything. It becomes your friend, not your foe. And knowing how to build things changes everything. So if you're getting nowhere, and I'm going to tell you, I've been here, guys. I've been there. If you're getting nowhere building, okay, and the only thing you know how to do, little blue blockers on here. If the only way you know how to build your business right now is content marketing, I understand that, because I put a lot of my energy there too. I would spend hours and hours in building the technology behind everything. And I'm going to tell you, I was happy I did it, because I became really good at the technology part, as far as like video editing and editing pictures and learning different programs and learning all the different software. And every time I leveled up, my business shift, my business became better. I became more of a master of my domain, which I needed to be, especially as a business coach, because how was I going to teach anybody to become, a business owner? And being a business coach, that was definitely a part of the dynamic. And I really needed to get myself together to make that happen. So I understand. I used to spend a lot of time on content marketing. And what happens is, if you don't have an ideal audience built, you're basically speaking to no one. And I know a lot of you guys go through that, because I certainly did. So if you feel like you've hit like an invisible wall, you hit a ceiling in your business, and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm so stuck. It's frustrating. I don't know where the dynamics are with this. I don't know where it's going. What am I going to do? And you just feel like the lack of clarity to the next steps to attract your clients. Well, again, I've been there too, guys. See, the real problem is that you haven't made these 5 shifts. The 5 shifts were one of the most important things in my career as an online business coach. And once I made these, I changed the game. And that's why it's so important for me to share these with you, because this was one of the first things that I got myself together with, was getting clarity on these shifts. And it brought everything that I needed, the support with the knowledge and the processes and the the plan of action and my business plan and all of that good stuff. And it took things to a whole nother level for me. And I'm in such a great state of appreciation for that, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And if we can't get to that place, then we're just, again, stuck, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are, at least in one place or another in your business. So once you actually make the shifts, then you'll be able to create your purpose, right? Your purpose to your passion with clarity. That's why I called this my program, that, mastering your divinity with the clarity code, because everything's encoded, everything's a code in the matrix, everything's numerical. And it's just about having the right numerical sequence in your conscious and subconscious where you can communicate, and then you're attracting on a whole nother level. So what happens is, once you actually start implementing that process, you'll start creating with mindful inner guided solutions. And then you'll start building, so you can get with being able to serve your ideal clients. And then you position yourself in order to receive what you deserve, which is your fees. And then you deserve how to serve, or know how to serve your clients, because ultimately in the end, that's how you do it, right? It's about serving with purpose, creating huge value, because you are creating solutions for the problems that your clients have, no matter where they're at, where you are at, no matter if you're a mindset coach, transformational coach, an energy coach, a coach in general, a business coach, a spiritual entrepreneur, whatever your background is, it's all the fundamentals, especially in the spiritual communities and when you're looking to serve on a higher level. So what these shifts will help you do is you'll learn how to position yourself, guys, as the authority, right? Bringing authentic value with your gifts. And then you can be in service with clarity, because you'll know how to do it. And then you'll no longer be stressed the heck out, and you'll know how to serve, because those doubts will be gone, because you'll be proving to yourself with the work that you put in that you know and you will show up for yourself, right? So I want to tell you a little bit more about who I am at this point, guys. Yes, that's me. Let me move that down a little bit so I can show you this. The presentation's taking a minute to load. Not sure what this is right here, but well, let me tell you anyway. I'm a shamanic business coach, and I've been in business and in personal development actually for about 22 years. And it's been a long, long time. And, I have a really deep sense of spiritual communication, and that's what helps me get through. That's who I am. That's how I serve. And this guides me with mindful solutions also, because I have a deep connection with my higher self, and I'm very conscious of the spiritual communication that I have with my spirit guides, and I know which way to go. And it's in this business in general, it's a good place to be, because it helps you communicate not just with your higher self, but with your potential clients. Which decisions to make, and you're creating mindfully giving you that next level of wisdom. I'm sorry about this, guys. I don't know what's going on with that. But at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So I want to tell you a little bit about why I do what I do. I'm a little sad right now. Well, this is my daughter, Sam, and this is my puppy. I love her so much. She actually passed away a few months ago, my dog. And I was just crying again today, probably for the 3,000 times since she's passed. I miss her so much, but I told myself in her passing I would honor it by kicking ass, by growing into who I am meant to be. And I know she's always with me, my little bubby. Yeah. And that's my other baby, even though she's a grown adult now. She's 28 years old, actually. But you know how it is, guys. Your babies are your babies, right? Absolutely. That never changes. So let's get into the next steps, guys. I want to talk to you about these 5 shifts, because they're definitely here. They're coming up, and they're going to support you. I promise, when you decide to take those next steps to make it happen. And then you can spend some time in a place like this, because I know that's the best. Palm trees and water and ocean and sea salt, like sea salt, water and salt. Who doesn't love that? So coming these next few minutes, we're gonna be going through these shifts. So the shifts actually will help you take your business to actually 5-figure months, then 6-figure months, while you enjoy the freedom of that in your daily life. I promise. You put in the work, you will see the results. So let me go ahead and walk you through those 5 shifts right now. It all starts with creating with clarity. And a lot of people don't know how to get there because it's so frustrating. I know, guys. I know I've been there, and that's the whole reason I'm creating this for you guys, because I've been there for sure. So the 5 shifts, let's get into that. Clarity, knowing how changes the game, but you still have to put in the work, and it's really important. But once you're creating it with clarity, now you can get to that actual first shift, which is getting really clear on who you are and what you do, so you know who you're serving. Like, you get clear on your expertise through your gifts, how you're serving. That changes the dynamic, okay, guys? Because a lot of people don't even know exactly how they're serving. And of course, you're not going to be able to create a business like that because you'll just be stuck. So the second shift I want to talk about is what I mentioned, is like clarity on who you are, who you are and how you serve. Once you know how you serve, and that's what everybody calls in this business your niche, right? Your niche it reveals itself to you. And actually, my niche revealed itself in stages. And I was really grateful for that, because I was really like a lot of other coaches, like, okay, I'm in personal development. I'm a personal development coach. And what happens is with that is you cast a small net in a huge ocean. And that is why you end up speaking to no one when you're putting all that content marketing out. You're not speaking to anyone specifically, and you're probably not even building the right audience with that, guys. And what ended up happening to me, actually, I had a pretty great following because I've been making content since 2010 when I was posting my first videos and on social media, and I had a great following, but my following went cold because I ended up losing them because of how I shifted and grew in my business, which is a good thing because now my following is very targeted and I'm making a really big difference now. So my big shift was webinar marketing, and it is a dynamic that I had to get or go through and learn in stages, because there is so much in the dynamics. Once you know your niche, then you got to start putting together the strategies that help support that in your journey, right? And then you can start actually leveraging your time with that, because now you have something like this to tell people exactly who you are, how you serve, what you do, and what the solutions that you're going to bring to their problems, which is ultimately in the end the most important thing, because you're there to serve. That's why having clarity on what you do so you can serve changes the game, guys. It changes the game. So like the 5th most important shift that I made, okay, was investing into myself and in my business with a coach, because at the end of the day, we need a mentor. I did a lot of free master classes and do it yourself, and it's led to piecing things together, square peg, round hole, guys. And I know a lot of you guys have been there, and you can get stuck there for years if you don't do something about it now. This is the way it works. So that brings me to talking a little bit more about shift number 1, and that's building with clarity. Because if you don't know who you're serving, guys, it's just not going to happen, right? So clarity is the most important step to build with mindful solutions to create those shifts, right? Because if you don't have the mindful solutions, there's no way you can take any kind of action. There is no plan of action because you don't know which way you're going, left, right, straight, stay. What are you supposed to do, right? So what happens is when you don't know what to do, you get stuck in that lower mind survival mode, and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But how am I going to, build this business? This is affecting my family. I don't have any money. I am working this job. I'm not happy where I've got this old business. Wherever you're at, you're gonna be stuck in those same thoughts, because what happens is, as you guys know, Our brain records everything, and it triggers those emotions, those belief systems, those actions, those thoughts every single day. And what happens is creating those mindful solutions gets hard because you're only thinking negatively. And what happens is when you're in survival mode, that conscious communication is very low. The volume on that is very low. Trust me, I've been there too. And I get it. But when you turn that on, you shift that, and you start visualizing and knowing that there is always a way. As long as you put in the work, there's always a way. And what will happen is it starts creating opportunities for you to know who you are, who you serve, and you can start like mastering your niche, right? And who you're talking to, and you can start positioning yourself as an authority in the business by communicating the highest value you can possibly give to your potential clients. And the game has changed. You're forever on another level. And that it's really important because it just is, guys. It just is. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how communicating your value gives direction. Okay. Because a lot of people need that, right? Especially like this, when you're talking to people through a webinar or through your marketing. I call it, my marketing specifically is conscious marketing, because it's with pure intention, speaking to a specific market, to a specific group of people that I want to help serve. It's the leaders that want to step up to help shift the consciousness ultimately at the end of the day. So what happens is that if you don't shift that, then that just, again, causes a lot of anxiety and stress for yourself and certainly whatever clients you have in the pipeline now. And again, those are probably not consistent because you don't have any kind of action plan or strategy to get you there. So not having direction, definitely creates, again, that energy of not having the guidance, not knowing how you're going to serve. And it's misdirected energy, and it's energy draining because you just don't know where to go. So this leaves for no way to actually start creating the systems that you need to support your business, to build a business. And then there's no real shifts in the dynamics of your business. And what happens is, again, you get stuck in survival mode. And it's really important that you have that clarity so you can start making the shifts through conscious communication. You can be in that place to say, okay, my spiritual wisdom is guiding me, my intuition, my guides, my higher self. And then your business will start reflecting that. And that it's a really important place to be, guys, because it changes everything. It changes everything. And I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So that takes me to shift number 2. If you want to learn how to get clarity on your expertise, then you got to learn how to deliver your expertise in your niche so you can serve your ideal clients. Because if not, then like I said, like right from the beginning, you're just not going to go anywhere. It's like having your foot and the gas and on the brake at the same time. And it's what a lot of coaches do, actually. That's like a great analogy because a lot of coaches do that. So what will happen is this: when you are feeling mixed, you're sending out mixed messaging. And when you're creating your content, people can feel that. They know that they're not sure exactly how you're going to serve because you're not really clear on what you're doing or how you're serving and what exactly your value, because you don't have clarity on your offer. So there is no room to actually create like authentic energy exchange and bringing value because you're not sure. And what happens is you can be a great coach, but then, it's hard to shift the dynamics of that because what you think you feel and you're creating, right? We all know that in these spiritual communities. So what happens is when you do get that clarity, because you're making those shifts, this shift particularly, it starts relieving the stress because you know what you're doing, you know who you're serving, and it chills out that anxiety and the stress, because I know I had it, and it's a really uncomfortable place to be when you're constantly stressing about what the next moment is going to do and where these dynamics going to come from. And It just creates experiences you don't want to have, at least repetitive ones that we're not happy with, right? And the universe will keep on doing that until you get yourself in order so you can take the right steps, the next steps, make that shift, create a plan, and follow through with action plans. And yeah, that changes things. So what happens is once you're in that space, you start attracting prosperity because you know you have the clarity, you have then it fuels the passion. It feels the it fuels the creative momentum, the juices of that could be conscious communication. And then you start creating with purpose, and then you start feeling amazing because you know that your gifts are bringing tremendous value to those people who are looking for you, wanting to work with you and waiting for you to show up, because they can only feel that you, specifically your gifts, are there to serve them, because there are people, I promise you, that are there that are meant only to work with you specifically. So you need to show up so you can show up for your clients. So clients that are seeking to be the best versions of themselves in their business and want to work with the best that you can offer as a spiritual entrepreneur, like I said, they're waiting for you, and the vibes will feel right as you start creating, and they'll want to invest into a high ticket program with you because you know who you are, how you're serving. You'll be really strong on that communication, and once you know your niche, then you can become more powerful, stronger in that, and you'll know how to communicate your offer, you know how to market. Like, all of it is it's like a muscle. You have to work it out. And every time you do something, it teaches you. So it'll, and then you can now change that and shift that and teach your ideal clients on how to do the same. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So what happens is clients end up investing into your high ticket program that they know they're going to create success with, because they're seeing you do it. You are your brand. You are the gift. You are the offer. You are the program, and you're delivering that with clarity, which positions you to be in an authority in your niche. And that's so important. And that's when you start hitting those points, those pinnacle points of creating 5 and 6 figure months. And that all depends, of course, on your price points, but all of that comes with the clarity once you know how to serve. So I want to talk to you about this next thing, guys, because the biggest case study that I studied was myself. That's why my first case study right here is about me, because I learned so much from myself, because I am a very self-aware person, and it's really in person. It's really important that you guys know that, and that you know yourself. So I want to tell you, like, before I invested, into anything, I did a lot of do-it-yourself courses, and I did a lot of free master classes. And before I decided to, step into that next level, and before I invested into a coach, the dynamics were completely different. I was actually charging $175 an hour, and before I started creating high ticket offers. And I would, again, I mentioned it a little while ago, I would see my client for 2 or 3 times, or 2 or 3 sessions, and then that was it. I found that I wasn't really able to make any real shifts in anyone's life that they can hold for a lifetime, that they can use for a lifetime, that they can integrate for a lifetime. And be in that space to say, hey, yeah, I changed my freaking life, right? Because Sonia helped. So I had a big problem with that. And I know they did too, because they didn't come back, because I didn't know who I exactly was, how I was serving. I wasn't sure what my programs were, because I was still getting clarity even on my gifts, like how I even help people in general, right? So after I started investing into myself and I invested into my business, I knew that I needed to do something, and I needed to work with someone that can help me get me to the next level. And I learned a lot of the dynamics, and a lot of it came with those first shifts that I told you guys about. So getting clear with myself, getting clear with my niche, getting clear with my offer. And then I was able to start making those next shifts. And a lot of the dynamics of marketing is knowing all that, so you can share that, with your potential client at the end of the day. Because if you don't have clients, you don't have a business, and that sucks, guys. I know, I've been there. So I'm going to tell you is this particular process, I call it the secret weapon, because webinar marketing takes all of that and you're able to present who you are, what you do, how you serve, all in that same presentation. And it makes it a really powerful way for you to connect to your potential clients and establish yourself as an authority in your niche, creating massive value. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about creating value for people who have problems that they can't create solutions for on their own, and with on their own, and why on their own, and how on their own. And what happens is that when you make the shift, then you have all the tools you need to create an amazing offer, because you know how to serve with that. And the way most coaches will train, I'm going to tell you guys something, this is so important, is the custom way. And they're going to teach you to post on Facebook, post on Instagram, post on Twitter, post on YouTube, write books, word of mouth, blogs, referrals, podcasts. Now, I'm not against any of that, because I do all of that, but you don't need all that in the beginning when you're building your business. It is really important for you to, if you like all the platforms, that's amazing. If you mastered it because you're always content creating, great. But my most important thing was when I started getting my first clients, I picked one platform and I mastered the heck out of it, learned how to market through it, how to add the right infrastructure behind it, how to create strategies, the right CRM systems that were going to support to actually take me and my business to the next level. Once I did that, then I was able to focus on more of these. And all of this can be done at the same time, but it is definitely a balancing act. But you don't need all this to have a successful business, to have clients. And that's really important. You grow into it. Okay. So if that does make any sense to you, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, coaches teach strategies all the time to keep you busy, but don't produce the actual results with content creating. And what happens if you put all your energy into content creating, only you miss so much more. It is about, yes, content creating, but it is also about having set strategies that support that create a high income producing process. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know how to do that to even get to that next stage. And it just keeps them, again, creating content, and gets you nowhere. So I'll tell you, the modern way is one of the best ways. And there's a lot of ways to do this. So when you guys are ready, you can ask me the next steps and I will send you some freebies on how to do that. But on Facebook, I'm going to tell you, Facebook has been the most powerful platforms for me. You can go from Facebook to a sign-up page, to a webinar, to new client. Okay. So it's about having the right strategies, marketing strategies, the right infrastructure, the right CRM systems to support you to get from point A to point B, to creating your niche, mastering it, offering it, bringing massive value, and at the end of the day, clients. And that's what it's all about. And that's the foundation. So content marketing is great because it builds your brand, okay? And it tells a story of who you are, how you serve, and I'm going to tell you, this particular one can replace all of those if you do it right. But I'm not suggesting that you stop content creating. I'm saying that don't put all your focus on there without having everything else that supports that. Okay. So creating a webinar is definitely one of the most awesome things that I've did. It establishes you again as an authority, it helps build connection with you and your client. It attracts your ideal clients. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? So how that actually happens is in the final 10 minutes, you make your offer, and you actually take 10 to 15 minutes in the beginning to build your intro. And the 30 minutes in, like what we've had right now, you have your core content that proves you can help. So I'm proving here in this webinar that I can help you guys, all the dynamics behind everything that I've told you. You need all that to build and have the supported systems for your business so you can actually serve on that scale that you want to. And the next aspect of creating that powerful webinar is having your core content really clear, so you know how to present it in an offer and in a webinar like this, a presentation and a free masterclass, whatever you want to end up calling it. So then you can make another offer, and again at the end of the final of the end of your webinar, you're making your offer. So that's why I love webinars in general. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this case study that she went through through figuring all this out. And at the end of the day, this is her little story. So let me share Jennifer's story here. Well, she is a mindset coach, and who did the same thing I did. She charged hourly and didn't have an offer, which then at that point, I attracted her because like attracts like, right? Because I've been there. She was charging hourly, and what happened is she wasn't really making any shifts for her clients, and they didn't come back. So when she came to me, she realized that she needed a strategy that was going to help her, again, get clear on her niche, know who she's serving, how she's going to serve, how to package that up, and figure out the right price points, and then creating powerful strategies that will help her deliver a high ticket program, bringing high value to her clients. And then she was able to get clear and the dynamics behind pricing because of that. And then she started charging $5K, and it actually, like in her first month, she ended up making like 20K. And I thought that was freaking amazing, because I know I've been there, and it's amazing when you start making the money, when you know what you're doing, and it's a whole nother dynamic. It's a whole nother world. It puts you in a really powerful place. So Jennifer is now actually making about 240K to start a year. When she was ready to actually roll out her next offer, she just repeated the same process, and she actually took it to the next level because she did it a lot organically. And then, because you can't take those same systems to do it organically, and then when she was ready to reinvest, she just repeated and then invested into ad campaigns through social media. And then she was ready to continue growing, and she did that with the secret weapon. And it's about all the information that we've gone over so far, guys. So I'm going to tell you, running my business with a webinar has brought in steady clients. It has allowed me to connect with my clients. It's allowed me to build relationships. It's allowed me to build myself as an authority. It's allowed me to be able to present what I do, how I do it, and the results, the solutions I bring to my clients' problems, their pains. And because a lot of people just want the next thing to help them evolve in their business. And I'm going to tell you, a great presentation like this can be the foundation of it all. So that's when you start shifting into making those 6 to 8 figures in your business. And doing that yearly changes the game. Can you imagine being in that space? It does feel good, guys. I'm going to tell you, because all those problems that you're having now, those just fade away. And then you're on another level, and it's like, oh. So if you really, if you're in that space, and you mean, if like one, you're asking me, well, how does one webinar change everything for you in your business? Well, let's take a really quick recap, guys. I've been here. I know what it's like to sit on the ledge and look over, of life, right? And you're sitting there and you're like, what the heck I'm going to do? And you're just stuck in this abyss of, what am I going to do? The problems, what ifs, if you don't take action, if you do take action, it feels really overwhelming. And I want you to know that now that we are creating something on purpose, right? With clarity, then we're able to build a high ticket offer by using the secrets, right? The secret weapon. And again, all the other systems behind it to support your business. And then you'll be stepping into your purpose with clarity, which it brings you to a great space, because now you can focus by time management. That's leveraging your time, because it opens up the dynamic for a lot when you have that support and you have a steady, income in your business. And that changes the game, that changes the game entirely. So leveraging your time is actually shift number 4 that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And this what happens is the next shift is to disconnect your time from your income, because I'm going to tell you, from a lot of studying throughout the years, millionaires and billionaires are very conscious about the ROI, which a lot of you guys should know what your ROI is, which is your return on investment. But millionaires and billionaires actually also focus on more than that, not just that, but on your ROT, which is your return on time, because time, you can't take that back. Time is gone. Every second of the day, every breath you take is time gone. You only have so much time here. It's limited, and you want to make the best of it. Why not focus on what you want versus what you don't have? Because that's the momentum you need to create a very, very, very successful business. And we are such powerful beings that's all it takes is direct focus. So once you have you're in a powerful place, you have knowledge, then you can share that with the world. And then that's when you start making the money, guys. You go to making 7 figures, 8 figures, 6 figures, whatever you want to do. And I have found that, knowing everything that I've talked about can get you those real results. I mean, that is very, very possible. I want to share a little bit about this next person. She's awesome. Her name is Linda Reed, guys. She is a coach and therapist who saw clients one-on-one at $125 an hour. And again, she was doing the same thing with me that I did. And again, she would only see him a few times, and she wasn't able to really make those few shifts. So she did know, she was very conscious, because she's a smart businesswoman, that she was limiting herself, right? With charging hourly and only seeing her clients for so many sessions. So we actually break down the math a little bit. So you take 125 and not an hour times 40 hours, then you go from week, that's about 5,000. You can go from, if you do the dynamics and you do the math, and if you break it down to if you had a high ticket offer, you could, depending on where you're at, obviously in your numbers, but it would equal up about to, as far as the hours, you would be doing about 5,000 or 20K months if you were charging that an hour and you were doing 40 hours a week. And it's really important on the math. I want to say that So, but the workload is like 120 hours per month. And that's really important, because then, you realize that, hey, well, with each client, right, as she did, it was a unique, what happens is that she was able to create some different fundamentals over and over again with each client. And she ended up creating an 8-week program. And then she ended up creating a video. And then that's when she created like her first online program. And then she was able to take that, add the support, create a team, with email support and Q&A. And then she tweaked her program and did a few other things. And then she was able to shift that. So now that she had her high ticket offer, and learned all the dynamics that we went over so far today. She was able to do what I, on my to-do list is go to Bali. And that was a part of her dreams, a part of her goals. And I was really, really super excited for her because it's a part of traveling the world is definitely in my agenda and its purpose. And especially as a motivational speaker, that's my goals. So let's talk about this last shift, guys. Shift number 5. Shift number 5, investing into coaching. It is so important to have a mentor. It is so important to have a coach, because when you don't, you're stuck where you're at and you don't get to climb up that ladder, because square peg, round hole, we get pieces and we piece everything together. And it's really hard to create a high ticket program on your own. I have yet to meet someone who's done it all by themselves without really having someone teach them how to do it one-on-one. So I'm going to tell you, everyone should have a mentor. And mentoring brings 2 solid things that it helped for me, was ideas that I never would have had, and accountability. Having someone to hold my hand, to support me. And it changed everything for me, because again, trying to piece things together left me where I was at when I first started. And I would have never gotten to where I'm at unless I figure out how to do that, to have the right support systems. And I don't suggest that, guys. I don't suggest that. So, that's exactly, what I want to get clear. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how that works. So how you can make the shifts to get you into that state of understanding that it's really important to have that support system. It's a mindset thing, right? Everything's a mindset thing. Everything is about having the core dynamics really clear in your mind and in your head. So it's about the beliefs about the possibilities that are potentialities that you can create in your business and in your life, shifting your lifestyle, having that conscious communication so you can continue developing yourself and in your business, because you are your business. Your mindset is your business. And it's really important that you have that. So the quality of your ideas and your actions, what you actually do, is really important, because that affects the outcomes that you have, right? How that actually manifests into your life. And that affects your happiness, right? And the possibilities and what you're able to do, what you're not able to do. And if you don't have that, then how are you going to make any kind of change, especially in your business? And the outcomes will not be the outcomes that you want. It's all about mindset, and it's all about, taking action on those next things that are going to help you develop your life and in your business. And your business will constantly reflect where you are at in that. And, that's just it. So one of the good questions to ask yourself actually is like, okay, how much money did I actually make last year or last month in my business? How much was it? Do I have consistent clients? Or where are they coming from? Do I know what I'm doing? How am I serving them? How am I growing? And if you don't know any of that, then how are you going to be able to be happy in your business, guys? It's just, that's why having the right support system is so important. And if you're not, then that means you need a new mindset. That means what you're thinking and you're feeling and you're creating is not really in true alignment with where you want to be and where your heart's desire is and where the universe wants you to be. Because at the end of the day, the universe is all loving and all loving and all supportive, and is there to serve, because you're meant to do something in your life, especially as a spiritual entrepreneur. We know deeply that we are here to serve humanity and non-shifting consciousness in our own way through our gifts. And that's really, really important. So that takes me to the next step, guys. I want to tell you something, because my dad was actually a doctor and my mom was a nurse. They were both in the medical field. And when I was doing this webinar and just my business in general, I did a lot of research on income and what people make and how they grow themselves in their business. And I took a look, because I always felt like I needed to know like the dynamics of what a good paying career does pay you and what you would make as a coach. So The average doctor makes about 175,000 a year, which isn't bad. Okay. But they train for like 14 years. I know my dad, man, he actually was a doctor, and he lived out of the country. He moved here from Colombia. And I remember the stories he would tell me, like he went to school some ridiculous amount of years, um, some 8 years plus some more years, and he went to school in Colombia like over 10 years, and then he came here. And when you come here from another country, you have to do it all over again. So he ended up going to school for like 20 something years, and it blew my mind, because the dedication it takes to and passion it takes is amazing. It blew my mind. But in the end of the day, I actually put in that much education, and as far as like length of time, I took that much time to learn this business because I love it so much. And I was really in that place where I'm an innovator, and I wanted to like really do something amazing, and make a difference for my clients and in these communities and in this business in general. So let's get back to it. So if you want to grow your business to actual 20K months, okay, plus, then you're ahead of actually most doctors, because you're trying to do it without, you're ahead of the game, because and if you expect that you want to make that kind of income, you have to put in the work, and you have to get the right support system, because that's like going and saying you want to be a doctor, but you learn how to be a doctor by watching TV, watching doctors on TV, instead of going and actually going to school and getting the education. And that's what mentoring and coaching is all about. And if you do it without that, it's again, square peg, round hole, guys. So, and that's really crazy. So I'm going to tell you, I have potentially, I think I've probably invested over 20K in training and in mentoring and high ticket coaching and all of that. Or in my business, a lot more. And every time I made the decision, it was huge, because that fear-based mentality popped up. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Can I afford to do this? Oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. And it's still a thought today. Like I always get, like, I've had to retrain my brain, because those thoughts come up. When's my next client? How am I doing work? What can I do this? Where can I invest? How do I do? And it's like a muscle we have to build. Like we have to be like in constant communication with spirit, so we can have focused energy, so we can continue growing from a loving space and in a guided space and in an all-knowing space, so we can manifest in our highest good. So now let's just say, depending on what your high ticket program costs, potentially you can pay off the cost of a high ticket program within 1 or 2 clients. And then that is like the truth. And at least for myself, that's what happened. And it's also about like finding the right person to work with, so you feel a lot more comfortable making that investment, with and for. So we're gonna take that next step. So what you're gonna learn is how to turn your passion, and you've learned how to turn your passion into a high ticket program, right? A high value program. And you're gonna make your 5 to 6, 7, 8 figure months, whatever it is that you're ready to invest your time and energy into learning how to do. And you'll build it with clarity and confidence and happiness, because you'll know that it's possible, because you'll see it manifest and manifest and manifest. And then the next thing, you'll have a true business that you can be proud of and happy about, and you'll never be worrying about how and where, like the next dynamic is going to happen. And you'll know that because you'll know how to attract your next client. You'll know how to charge them. You know what you deserve. You know what they deserve. And you have what they deserve to have, which is your knowledge, your wisdom, your gifts, right? And as long as you don't lose vision on that and you work that out like a muscle, everything is all good, guys. So I want to make you a promise today. I'm teaching you how to create a premium price point. And so you can stop stressing about having to have an ebook, a bunch of courses, podcasts, etc. How to go from 1K to 10K price points or higher by leveraging your service, your time, your knowledge, your gifts, And you can position yourself on doing that with working with clients, and not just one-on-one, but having a group coaching program so you can scale and work with a larger amount of people and be able to serve on a bigger scale, with a lot less time put in, and you'll lose a lot more. You won't lose as much energy. And every coach does it a little differently, but I find that at the end of the day, if you want to serve on a bigger scale, that is the biggest dynamic of it. So marketing and advertising and videos and all that stuff, it's like, if you find it very draining, there are ways to position yourself to automate your business and have a lot of that support you. And also building your team makes a big difference, but you got to know how to do that at the end of the day. But when you do, it's a victory. Yes. And I'm going to tell you, it's such a sweet feeling when you start to win, and you do that by having clarity on your niche, your expertise. Then your price points, like a secret, amazing way. Was not a secret, because everybody knows about webinars, but how you present it, how you do it, how what it is that that you offer. All of that makes a really big difference, guys, because you can't create that powerful strategy for yourself if you just don't know how, right? But when you do, you leverage your time, how to, invest in yourself is a game changer, and having that right support system is so important. So to shift you into 6-figure months, it's not hard, guys. You just got to know how. And once you know how, then you can create the action plan, and then you'll be down that road to success. Every step with direction, every step will have a destination. And at the end of the day, you have to make a choice. And now you have one, because we all do. We all have a choice. You can keep repeating the same cycles, and you can keep wasting time like you have, and you can keep being scared. You can keep on living in survival mode. You can still try to piece things together, square peg, round hole. Or you can start working with your ideal clients, your dream clients, the best people you can possibly work with, and step up into your calling, shifting consciousness with the gifts that you bring to your clients and to the world, and complete your divine mission. Like, it's a no-brainer, right? Because that's my purpose, to be able to serve and help do my part in shifting consciousness. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about for me. So I'm going to tell you, how is it that I can help? Well, my team and I have set some time aside in the next 48 hours to speak to you. Okay. And in those 48 hours, we will personally chat. We will reach out. We can talk. We can chat. We can talk about what it is that, where you're at, what you want to do. We can put a powerful action plan together so you can start going down that road to success, and you can start building your business today. You could do that before you even talk to me. You know how? By just saying yes, by making that shift in your mindset and thinking and creating a plan, because that's you already being ahead of the game and above a lot of people that are not doing that in their life, and they're never going to make a difference. So how I'm going to help on that chat, we will work out, like I said, a very powerful action plan. I will get to know where you're at, what you want, what is it going to take to really get you there, and create steps for you to get there. And then all you have to do is follow through by working on your mindset and putting the action behind that to start changing things in your life and in your business. And then that'll allow you to start reaching your income goals, whatever that might look like for you, whether it's 10K months, 200K months, or whatever it is for you. You can achieve it. I promise you, because there is a way. Where, as they say, where there is a will, there is a way, guys. And it's just knowing how. That's why it's called the clarity code. Once we know, we just know, right? And I'm going to do this for you absolutely free, because I wish in the beginning someone was there for me, because it's exhausting and you're like a hamster on a wheel, right? No going nowhere. So again, at the end of the day, I want to let you guys know who exactly this offer is for. You must have knowledge that solves a life or a business problem. You must be outstanding at what you do, because at the end of the day, that's really important. And you must hold yourself to the highest integrity, because that is the only person or people I want to work with. So if that's you, I want you to really internalize and say, okay, I'm ready to start walking down that path. If you're ready to start running down that path, I'll run right with you. And the thing is that you'll have the support system to get you where you need to go. So I want you to book that chat now. And how you will do that is, this is what I'm going to do. Because I love doing what I do, and I love being a business owner that helps and gives back, creating huge value, is I'm going to set it up for you to streamline the process very easily. And I know that with that conversation, it will help transform where you're at in your mindset, so you can start transforming your business. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So we can discuss it and we can see if it's a good fit for us. If we say, hey, we're vibing, we like each other, and we really can see ourselves doing that, then great. But if you decide, yeah, no, this is Sonia's not the right coach for me, then that's great too. Because at the end of the day, I just want to work with the right people, because your dream clients are so, so important, because that changes the dynamic of things if you're working with someone that is not in it to win it. And I am in it to win it. So you got to be in it too. So we can put together that action plan. I want you guys to do this next step. I want you to go to soulsensecoaching.com/apply. And you can also get there by going to soulsensecoaching.com. And the reason I want to send you to the website is because I want you to actually look at the program. I want you to look at everything that it offers. I want you to see the price point. I want you to see the awesome introduction there that I have to the program and to the actual offer. It'll help you get clarity. It'll help you create the next action steps, and it'll give you a way to communicate and contact me, so you can set up that next step in your into actually having that conversation. Now, if you decide you want to do it right away, you can just leave your contact information here after this webinar, and someone from my team will reach out, and we will set up that chat so we can get to that next step, and you can get rocking and rolling to getting that clarity through that awesome code that does that for you. And we can put together that action plan that is needed for you to create that successful business by shifting your mindset and being able to step up with your beautiful gifts and share that with the world. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, guys, right? At least it is for me. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be with me. I want to tell you how much I love and I adore each one of you, especially who are stepping up to be the leaders of the world. It is so important. So that's why I'm here to serve. So I want to thank you once again. I look forward to chatting with you. Please don't hesitate. If you have any questions, go to my website, check it out. But you can also send me a DM, however you're seeing this webinar. And there will be different ways to either to connect, but one way or another, I will see you. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward. I'm super excited to chatting with you. So until the next time, guys, I will see you then. Peace.